Well, how's it going, everyone? Well, as you can see, I've got an L9 A2MF in front of me, and I actually had one of my subscribers ask, how do you change out the grip panels, and what does it look like with the different ones? So I kind of wanted to go over that. Since I've already done it to this pistol, this is how I normally run it. So I'm actually going to take this one apart, show it to you, and then play around with some of these other panels I've got sitting over here. Right now, all I have are the small panels and the large panels for the side interchange, and then I have all three of the back straps. So as we can see, this one here is the large, and it's large all the way around. So we're going to open this one up as normal. Everything's clear. Show you guys. All right. The way this is going to work, there are some tools that are going to be needed, so it's just not a simple, do this on the fly. You can do this, back of the pickup truck, at the gun range, dining room table. You just need to have a quick pin set. So we're going to put this down. I'll show you what I've got. Guys, everyone knows I'm a huge fan of Real Avid. They've sponsored my range day before. They toss me a couple things here and there. If you're looking for any decent tools, for doing quick armory work or just the tools to do gun stuff, check out their website. They've got some really good stuff, and it's not super expensive. It works really, really well for our hobbyist. And they've also got their professional grade stuff, some really nice high-end stuff if you're doing AR builds. So, you need a small hammer. It doesn't matter if it's a brass or a metal one, just a small, good hammer. And let's pull out our punch. And since I'm doing this and I did not pre-stage, guys, I want to take me just 1 second here. I do want to say thank you, and I'm sorry at this second for filming, I can't remember the exact subscriber. I'll see about throwing up a link and I'll say thank you real quick. If you guys want a video or you have an idea for me, feel free, shoot me an email, leave it in the comments. You see how quickly I can get one knocked out and do a video for you guys, or explain something, or get a picture. We've done it on mags, and I do know someone's asked about the M&P magazines, and that'll be one of the next videos. So for a punch, you need a 332 punch. And the way this is going to work, after you clear your pistol, you can do this. You don't have to take the slide off. You don't have to do any of that. You just need to make sure it's safe. Clean is better. So what we're going to do is at the rear of the rear back panel, the back strap, there is actually a drift pin. And that drift pin goes through the chassis, through the grip module, into the rear of the gun, through these two little tabs, and then back through. Big thing is to make sure that you get this seated all the way and it doesn't stick out or hang out too far on one side and screw up the palm of your hand. This is where you're going to need a small hammer, and you're going to need this 3/32 punch. There's no easy, great way to do this. I've seen and noticed on these pistols, the left-hand side, so your slide lock side, is the side that you want to hammer from. The other side has a convex curve to it, and it's nice and rounded, and you kind of need it. It acts as a tip, like the milled tip on a bullet or so, to actually seat itself. So all you need to do is take your punch, stick it up. Give me just okay. Something else that I use is actually just one of these. This here is just a nice piece of leather. It actually came from one of the companies I've done some work before. It's actually a coaster, but this thing works really well as an armorer's help. Just because I want to get the gun up a little bit so it doesn't set up. You can actually use a rag, or if you've got a spot in your table, you just need to get so you can drive this pin and it doesn't hit the table. So we're going to take that. It's real simple, guys. We're going to take this. Now I'm going to use, it doesn't matter. Like I said, this here is just a metal side. That's a brass. It is plastic, so we're just slightly going to tap it out. As you can see, a couple whacks, and the pin starts to come out. Now, depending on a brand new gun, this is going to take just a few minutes. that you need to get this drove through. So here we go. Once you get that out, we're actually going to show this one because it came out just perfect. You can see right there at the pin. Let's get this up here. Right there, there's the pin. So you see what's coming through. It is polymer, so it's going to be a little tight. Leave that in there. Make sure we're lined up. Once that comes through, this pin is metal. So this would be a good time to kind of show this is that rounded corner. I'll try to get that shown to you guys. And then here is the flat corner. So, all right, so take this pin, don't lose this. We'll set that off to the side, put our punch and our hammer out. And here we go. This is how easy it is. To remove out the back strap, you just need to pull down and pop it out. You can take your thumbnail. And the reason I say you need to pull it down is sometimes it's stuck right here. So if you just kind of pull down a little bit, take your thumbnail, and you're actually going to see there's this line here. Just reach in and pop it out. The side panels, just pull straight down. And there's the side panels, and that's what the frame looks like without any panels on it. It's still functional. You can still shoot and run. I'll show you what it looks like with a mag. Looks a little goofy, but God forbid if you were to lose all your panels or some type of catastrophic, you got to use gun or something. It is still functional, but it is kind of funky to feel it that way. So I'm gonna go here. Now that I've got these large panels pulled out, you guys are going to be really able to see the difference here on these panels. So we'll throw in these thin line panels. They do only go in one way, which is textured out. That's a large panel. So there we go. There's the small panels. And just for the heck of it, let's go with the small rear. All right. The top lip edge has a little cantilever. Goes in, presses down, and if you give it that little push up, it normally pins in. And this is what it looks like. Very, very similar to the A1 in the overall shape, except here for the front. But the sides, the thinness of this, you get onto it, the gun gets really thin. This would be a really good setup for an EDC, for if you're going to do like an inside the waistband holster. I'll throw the mediums on here. The mediums feel pretty good with the flat panels. And then the large. I'll keep these here so they're easy for me to pull back apart. Now guys, for ref respect, I have a very large hand. I normally wear like a triple XL glove, and my ring size over here, like on this hand, is a 14. So if you're trying to compare and you think your hand to this, I mean, I've got a very large paw. So when I throw on that large back strap, it actually opens up here and gets my hand further back for my thumb to ride in the teardrop groove and gets my fingers away. When I run these smaller ones, I get so bunched up and I over grip that I actually find that I slack and then I start trying to limp wrist. So I really do like this larger back panel. So there's that. Let's pull out the sides. We'll put the large back in. Now I believe Steyr is actually coming out with some extra panels, maybe a very extra large size. So hopefully those will be coming out at some point. Now there's the large panel with this small back strap. And that feels really weird. The gun's got a whole lot of girth, and as you can see how much more I'm over gripping. My fingers are almost touching. Yeah, that for me that's just uncomfortable. That's weird. Try the mediums. Now since I've got this pistol, so far it's probably had close to 1,000 rounds, maybe the 1,500 mark, and I've only ever shot it with the large panels. So, making the comment that feels weird, that's just not normal. Basically, since I've got this pistol, and the ones I shot before all had the large hand swell. There we go. It's just what I'm used to. Like instantly, that feels back to being natural. The other neat thing is you see here the curvature of my hand, where the back of this is cut. It has that kind of S palm for your hand to go into. As soon as you get into this large, it actually pushes against the tendon in your thumb here that goes into your wrist, and it actually naturally sets up, and you can see how much further away my fingers are from the fat of my hand, of the thumb. So that really feels a lot better, and for someone with large hands, this here's really the winning combination. Okay, well, there you guys go. Hopefully that helps out and shows you something. Once you've made your selection, it's really simple, the procedure to put this all back together. Take your drift pen, still from the left-hand side, since we're going to go always left to right on the driving. Find the side that you have not marred up, and it's pretty easy because it'll have some scratches. Insert the drift pen. You can start to push it through. The big thing you need to be careful of is when you first insert, you need to make sure that it gets into that little circle, which I'll show you here on this one, is to make sure that you get it lined up. Make sure that it's actually seating into the hole, as you don't want to break off one of these tabby ears inside and miss one. It'll cause it to be a little bit loose. So there you go. After that, take your punch, and well, I grabbed a hammer and said punch, but grab your punch. You're gonna need that to set the depth to make sure it's even on both sides. Just take your hammer, lightly tap it all back in together, and it's latched and ready to go. Honestly, you guys should be able to knock this out if you're out of range. All you need is a hammer and a punch. You should be able to do this in about 3 minutes. You might be able to do it a lot faster if you were, motivated, but on average, this is about 3 minutes to change out these grip panels.